Mandalas are used for meditation in Buddhism. They consist of a series of concentric circles. Tibetan monks would create these radial designs using a series of circles, and sometimes they're painted or drawn with colored sand. At the end of the ritual, the mandalas are destroyed. Today, we will create a print using a radial design like the mandala. All right, we're going to get started on our radial print. You're going to take your square piece of paper. We will write our names on the back. Flip it over. You're going to find the middle of our square. So you're going to use a ruler. Our square is 8 inches long, so half of that is 4. I'm very lightly going to put a little dash there. Then I'm going to rotate my ruler vertically and measure 4 inches from there, which is here. So my middle point is going to be intersecting. If I take and draw that line and that line, right there will be the middle. And I'll do that really lightly. Mine's going to be a little darker. You'll just know that's where you're going to start. We're going to use paint sticks to do circles going around in different colors around our center point all the way to the edges. We're radiating. So I'll start here. Think of what color would look nice next to that. Maybe I'll do make sure you get a colored solid. Might help to draw a circle first and then fill. So we are radiating from the center. This is going to start going off the page. That's okay. Just keep going. We'll do those little edges last. And looks like I have room for one more color. I'll do this dark blue. Don't use black because we're going to use black ink for our print. Try to stick with the lighter colors. We'll actually see how that black turns out on this dark blue. That step's done. Now we're going to get a piece of graph paper and we're going to make our radiating design. I want you to think of lines and shapes. We will draw these radiating from the center. Then we'll place them on our foam and we'll be able to roll the ink on and print them on the background we did. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 times. So you're thinking of different lines. What kind of lines do we know? We know straight, curvy, zigzag, wavy, thick. Think of the types of lines. You are going to start from the first square up to this first square down. So this line is going from here to here. Then the next line will go from the second and then the third. And in between we can add some shapes. So on this first one, maybe I start with just a curved line. I think I want it thick. So I'll color that in. Actually, then the next one, I'm going to start here and end here. Maybe this one I want to do scalloped. And I have one more. This one, I'll do these loop-de-loops. Make it a little thicker. Now in between I can think of any shapes or other lines I want to add. If I wanted to do don't get too complicated. Oops. On your print, you're going to want some of your things thicker or colored in. It will make for an interesting print. Wherever we are doing thick or any areas that are colored in, that will remain white and the rest will be black. Then on this one, maybe I'll do, I think I'll just do circles. All right, when you're done with your design, we are going to take it and lay it on top of our foam. We're going to secure it with a couple pieces of tape. Like that. We're going to grab a pen. Very carefully, we will retrace all of our lines. And while we do that, it's going to be carving into our styrofoam. If you have thicker lines, take your time. You can probably re-thicken those once you get everything traced. I think I'll do that on my second tracing, because it's hard to do it with this paper. Now I can flip this. You can see all my indents. Now I'm gonna go over all those again with my pen, just to make it a little bit crisper and deeper on my lines. If I need to thicken them up, I'll do that. Really take your time. These I'm tracing, and then I'm coloring on the inside. Okay, now that we're done with that, we can remove our paper very carefully. We are going to take our name, write it with Sharpie, and I'm also making an arrow to the center of my plate. This is where I'm going to line this up. It's going to help me remember this goes to the center. So when I turn this, I have to turn it this way for my printing. So that's a little tip for you. We're going to get ready to print. You're going to have your plate. We're going to use some paint. and we are going to have a brayer. These are our brayers. All right, I have my workstation all set up. I have my paint, I have my extra paper here, I have my foam on top of a little messy mat, and I have my background paper that I need to print on. It's a little curvy, so just bend that way. All right, so using the brayer, you're going to pick up some ink, some paint. Let's go back and forth. You want to get some coverage on this brayer, the roller part. And then I'm just going to roll a little bit of it off because this is a little slippy, so we don't get it too much. Now I can come over to my plate, do it slowly. You need to pick up some more. I'm making sure I go vertically and horizontally so I get all my areas. And if you notice anything too light, pick up some more. I just noticed that I got a little too much probably there. I should have picked up paint and rolled it a little bit. That would have helped. We're going to take our printing plate over to our background. Very carefully, I'm going to flip this over. I'm looking at my arrow. I know that arrow needs to line up with the center. Get that lined up on the corner. Don't place it down till you're ready. You put it down, you can't pick it up. Put it down, and now I'll actually grab a clean brayer and just roll that, pressing hard, trying not to move it both ways. Now when I'm done, I'm going to pull my print. A little bit faded, but it will be all right. I'm going to do this again. Get my ink, roll it on the paper, make sure it's not gloppy, come over to my print. That first one was a little light, so I know the second one I need to get a little bit more paint on. All right, we'll give this one a try. I'm going to turn this over. I see my arrow. I'm lining the arrow up with the center. Get my corners lined up. Press it down. Roll it. Lift it. Pulling your print. That one turned out better. You can see the difference. Line up your arrow, line up the corners and the edges, press it down. Ooh, that one slid a bit. Hopefully it didn't get too smeary. It is okay. One more time. Pick up the paint, get the edges. Last corner. Line up your arrow. Place it. Roll it. There is our radial print. Everything was going out from the center like that, like a mandala.